everybody, welcome back to AndyP Motorcycle Channel. It's probably been a few years since I uploaded something on this channel because time we're busy, but today guess I'm ready to share the good news. That puzzle is finally together. And I have this old motorcycle running. Let me show what at the end I got out of the boxes with the parts. So for those who haven't seen my first video, a little bit of history on this bike. This bike was last insured in 2003. I have the license plate somewhere with the tag. Oh, it's right here. Come on. So you can see the last time this motorcycle was insured is 2003, right here. And this bike belonged to my friend, and he wanted to do some work on a carburetor. So he pulled it apart and changed some seals, nothing major. And as he tells me, after he assembled everything back, he was trying to start the bike, but obviously, he says, he didn't realize that he forgot his fuel closed. And obviously the bike wouldn't start. So he kept cranking and cranking until eventually the fuel relay overheated and blew up. So he replaced the fuel relay, but I think that damage had been done. The next was the fuel pump started smoking, and after that he said he tried to start a few more times and I guess shorted the harness or something, because he said he saw a plume of smoke coming out of the harness. So he looked at that as a positive sign and said, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna take the bike completely apart and I'm gonna restore it. Like, because the frame was a little bit rusty and a few other minor things. And so that's what he've done. He've taken the whole bike apart down to the bolt, and he thought he's gonna come back to the bike and he's gonna rebuild it. Then of course life happens, and he got married, he got kids, he got a mortgage, other priorities. So the bike sat in his garage probably 10-12 years. And after that he called me one day and says, hey, I'm cleaning up my garage, how do you want to come and get a bike? Of course I get excited because I knew the bike, I saw it before. And I come in and what I see, it's basically a frame, about 6 or 7 boxes with all different parts just piled up. And then there's a little cart. You can see the cart is over there on the casters, and the engine sits there. And he goes, well, take the bike home and see if you can put it back together. So that was probably about seven years ago. And that's how I got to have this beautiful, awesome Honda. And I can tell you guys that it's actually the first time when I was riding a sports bike, because I usually had cruiser bikes, and this is the first sports bike that I ever got to ride. And I'm blown away. I'm blown away. It's unbelievable fast bike, handles unbelievably. I love it. It's really a joy riding this little motorcycle. All right, so this is the old girl. You can see it's all back together. It's running. I'm gonna turn it on, start the engine in a second. Obviously it was a struggle because it literally was a puzzle. The parts book was helpful somewhat, and the service manual, but the pictures weren't really helpful because they weren't really good quality. So I had to fit stuff together, figure out how it goes, but at the end, I think it's all worth it. So let's look at this bike. So the bike has 49,000, close to 50,000 kilometers. Still probably needs to have some finishing touches. Looks like I need to clean the carburetor better, because I haven't done anything to the carburetor, and it has a little of a dead spot as I hit the throttle. Well, let's see. Likes a bit of choke. So as you can see, the bike is running. I already had it for a run. I did about 200 kilometers, so it has no problem running on a highway or RPM. It just a little bit on a idle. I can't really capture. It has to have about 1,000 to 1,200 RPM idle, and when it's warm, I can get it there with the adjusting screw. Now, after it sits a little bit, it's a little bit flaky, and obviously you saw it's when I apply the throttle, it's not as smooth as I would like it. So it's something to be done, but that's the minor things already. The main thing that the bike is running, and you can see it starts right away, like no hesitation whatsoever, and I can tell that I'm really impressed by the bike. It's really a fast bike. When people tell like a crotch rocket, this is a crotch rocket. It has no problem taking off, and in a few seconds you can get to 160, 180, no problem whatsoever. I'm blown away how this bike handles, how it accelerates. It's basically an awesome bike. All kudos to Honda for making such an awesome bike. So as you can see, I already had it insured. So it has a license plate. So the next step for me would be to apply for collector's plate. So for those who's not familiar, in Canada, if the vehicle is older than 25 years, you have an option to get collector's plate. For that, the bike has to be in original form. Few modifications allowed, like I have here aftermarket exhaust, so that's allowed. So I'm gonna apply for collector's plate, and that reduces your insurance like 10 times. And I'm gonna keep her. It's an awesome bike, and I'm really happy, guys, to report that at the end, I guess took me about 5 or 7 years to put it back together. And you should see the former owner, my friend. He was blown away when he saw the bike running. He almost started crying. Anyway, that's all for the good news. Now, obviously, when as I was starting the bike, there were a few little things that had to be fixed or troubleshooted. So I had to figure out why the fuel pump doesn't work. I've done some testing. So for that, I'm gonna create a separate video how to test the fuel pump and how to troubleshoot fuel pump. And I think that was the major thing in this bike. And obviously, probably is going to be another video where I'm going to take apart the carburetor and clean up all the jets and all the all the little passages because I still don't like how it's running. I mean, I can ride it, but it's not 100%. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next video.